brains no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what these mad for. I just signed a deal and got a really big bag.
Give me some Ingram. It's the coach. This is the 2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll be led out by their second-year quarterback, leading rusher amongst QBs in 2018, Lamar Jackson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Finds Roberts left side. He finds an opening past the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. DJ Reader there on the tackle. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
Push him back.
On second down, Ingram. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Many times as we open a game, we talk about guys who are drafted in the first round, but how about the undrafted players? In this case, safety Tashawn Gibson, who's made the most of his time in the NFL, becoming a starter in the league, and since 2012, has 20 interceptions, the most for undrafted players in that time frame.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Now Jackson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So here are the Texans under their 6th-year head coach, Bill O'Brien. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Let's go, baby.
Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there heals a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Hey, switch gears. Good dance. Come. Watch the safety creep.
Now the 3rd year back out of Texas, Deontay Foreman. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now before the 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Check 41. Out to the rope. You got nothing. 124.
They'll try the air now with Watson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. A look now at the lineup defensively for the Ravens. They've been pretty solid against the pass, toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now. But
got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A 10-play drive that time. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On second down now, it's Ingram. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle is going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Whitney merciless in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. Jackson. And he's going to go down again. Jadeveon Clowney with sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Watson hands this to Foreman. A gain of 13. It's a first down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the dump-off. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. 2nd year with the Ravens for Hurst. And he didn't have the rookie season he was hoping for, just 13 catches. Remember, he's older than the average 2nd-year player. He spent 2 seasons. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Whitney merciless. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
Let's go, fellas.
A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Situation, let's go. 26. Wide, get wide. Rush in.
Here's Foreman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Check 49. He's crashing.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Buying time to his left. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson, they'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
As a former defender, I would be angry as well. Could not get off the field. Well-executed offensive drive. No matter what the defense tried, they couldn't stop them.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They run. It's Mark Ingram. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 10.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And a look now at Lamar Miller. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
To throw is Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down.
Check. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Keep the boys down and coming. Watch the run.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They go screen. This is Ingram. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a...
And that's caught inside the 35. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Shift! Watch the shift! Hey, 55! Flare! Hey, 59! Hey!
Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just...
Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this one will be brought back to the 22. often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun. This one complete to Ingram. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
Let's go. Let's go.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Chris Moore. His first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Tucker with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Yeah, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now it's Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 16 yards, a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A first down and then some. 36 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come. And he will score. It's a touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Texans push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. Up to make the stop, the Texans' leading tackler a year ago, Zach Cunningham.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
On the move to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 23 yards the pickup there. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
19. Mike 40. 3 buzz. Switch. 24.
To throw again on second down. Watson. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On first and 10, Watson letting one go deep for the end zone. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. Now it's Jackson. Brought in left side by Snead. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jadeveon Clowney, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. 2 touchdowns to his credit so far. Charles, I'm curious, do these wide receivers, what do they go in with each week? Is it different week to week for the goals that they personally set for themselves, do you think?
I doubt that it's different from week to week. Maybe because of game plan, they know that one guy might be featured more than the other. But all in all, these guys are looking for 100 or more yards in receiving. But the biggest thing, getting into the end zone. And how about him? He's gotten there twice in this game.
He has indeed.
Kill. Hey, no time out. Put it down. Let's go.
On first down, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins. 23 yards on the play. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
Dancing to his left. And this will be a touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Jackson. Short throw underneath to Hurst. 22 yards there. A first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now Jackson on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another incompletion. It's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. Snead's got it. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. To throw again is Jackson. Finds Roberts left side. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
Again, Jackson. Roberts with it over the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Jackson throwing once more. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Jackson. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Steps away to his left. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The Texans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Judon picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. This is intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. One last shot for Jackson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So for Charles...